I remember early on Steven Spielberg, who restored this movie, was kind enough to sit down with me and screen his 70mm restored version on the big screen, and he did his own verbal commentary to me as we were watching the movie. And Steven's so generous like that. He was able to tell me insights into Lawrence of Arabia that were, if you're a fan, were just diamonds, just gems, yeah.
I was involved in the restoration of Lawrence, and I remember the honor of sitting next to David the first time we showed him his own film. And he watched it for the first time in a long time with us, all finished, brand new answer print on the available printing stock that was much better than the available printing stock he had in the 60s. But instead of being quiet and watching the picture for his own pleasure, he wanted to talk me through every single scene. So I got a kind of, what we have on our DVDs today, where you've got the director talking about his film while you watch the picture, you got the narration on one track. It was exactly the experience I had, except it was live. And David Lean is next to me, giving me all the details of how every single sequence was shot, where it was shot, what Peter O'Toole was like that morning. That was a good morning for Peter, a bad morning for Peter, what it was like working with Omar Sharif, what it was like working with Alec Guinness again. I mean, David was narrating the backstage how I made Lawrence of Arabia while we were watching together Lawrence of Arabia restored. It was an amazing couple of hours for me.
Oh. What no man can provide, Mr. Lawrence. We need a miracle.
When I first met David Lean, it was sort of, for me, it was meeting my guru. I mean, somebody who I had worshipped and studied and dreamt of meeting someday. And he didn't disappoint me at all when I first met him. He was intimidating in his intellect, and the fact that I couldn't keep up with his knowledge about history and about current events and about film. And yet I also understood that there were directors and filmmakers who he admired and loved. In return, I realized that there is a kind of pecking order, that David Lean was inspired, and he inspired a whole generation of filmmakers, and some of us inspire other young film students who want to become professional directors and writers and actors and actresses, and that's all really important, and I really understood that from him, and we sort of talked that same language. But then we got down to talking about things like, well, how'd you get the footprints out of the sand for take two? Because I saw those camels were walking for 3/4 of a mile, and then what about take two? And then he would explain to me why the film took something like 285 actual shooting days to finish. And you understood why sometimes David was only getting one shot a day.
For some men, nothing is written unless they write it.
Time to be great again, my lord.